Hello, viewers. We are having a special guest today. Well, Mr. Vignesh Shahane, CEO of IDBI Federal Life Insurance and former Ranji Trophy player, joins us in a candid chat. This candid chat is co-powered by Capital Group, who is into all media and sports and the events. Well, let's get across to Vignesh Shahane. Very warm welcome to our chat show.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's so nice to talk to you, Vignesh. Vignesh, let's get back into the flashback. I mean, there is a little unknown stories about Vignesh as a professional cricketer. We all know you had been the part of Mumbai Ranji Trophy team. How it all happened? I mean, you broke into the Mumbai Ranji Trophy teams in the early 90s. How it all happened?
Yeah, actually, you make me jog back my memory of more than 30 years. I actually was a late starter to cricket. I didn't play any cricket in school, any competitive cricket in school. I picked it up only after school when I was entering college. And I picked it up because I remember that was the time I shot up in height. Suddenly, I became a few inches taller and I was much taller than the remaining people around me. So that is when I decided I should try and make use of this newfound height and try and bowl fast. And then I could find that I could bowl more or less quicker than a lot of people around me. And because I had unorthodox sling action, I could get a lot of unpredictable bounce. So that's how my cricket journey started. Actually, started because I shot up in height, and then it became a passion. I played various age group tournaments for Bombay. I played Bombay University. I played India 19, Venezuela 19. Played for Podar College, which was the best in those days. Uh, and that's how my cricket journey started, and it culminated in 91, I think. 91, 92, and 93, I represented Mumbai in the Ranji Trophy. I played. I played about 5 or 6 games for Mumbai. I took about 12 or 13 wickets. Uh, yeah, so in a nutshell, that was my journey. It started only because I shot up in height. It didn't start because of any other reason.
Yeah, at times the reasons can be funny to join your passion, Vignesh. But
Absolutely, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
when you broke into, suddenly the dressing room were having Dilip Vengsarkar, Sachin Tendulkar has broken into the team, Sanjay Manjrekar was
Yeah,
around. How was the
absolutely.
experience that time?
All of them had Sachin, Vinod, Jatin Paransve, Zubin Barucha. I played with in the age group tournaments, under 17, under 19. But the Bombay team had Ravi Shastri, Dilip Vengsarkar, Sanjay Mandrekar, Raju Kulkarni, a lot of stalwarts you had grown up hearing about. So it was a wonderful experience, and they were great. And they were great human beings. Apart from being good players, there's a lot to learn from them. And just keeping your kit bag and sharing the dressing room with them was a dream come true for a 19-year-old boy. Uh, Definitely. And the Bombay team was probably at its one of the strongest teams in the domestic circuit at that time. And I think playing for Bombay was akin to playing for a country. So it was a great honor. And Mr. Dilip Exarkar presented me my first Ranji Trophy cap. It was my debut game was against Madhya Pradesh, I remember. And it remains to date one of the proudest moments of my life.
Well, must have been a big moment, getting your debut cap from none other than Dilip Vengsarkar. But Vignesh, talk us about some those memories which still itches you inside and brings up smiles when you look into the flashback with all that star-studded names representing Bombay.
Yeah, I think my best memories were during my cricket playing days. My most enduring friendships were people whom I played cricket with. When you travel together, when you win together, you lose together, you play as a team together, it develops a certain kind of bond that uh, no organization can have develop between people. And my closest friends today are the people I played with cricket 35 years back, and just tells you. Plenty of great memories, plenty of laughs, plenty of plenty of smiles, plenty of not so plenty of forgettable moments also. But it's all part of the journey. So, but fortunately, every team I played with, and more than the Bombay team, I think my college team, Ari Podar, led by Zubin Barucha, who was a close friend of mine. I think my closest friendships and the best times I've had representing college. Obviously, playing for Bombay is a great honor, and they were big stalwarts of the game. But I think my best memories were playing for RA Podar College.
Right, right. We know that Mumbai or Bombay at that time has always been the powerhouse of Indian domestic cricket. Representing Bombay itself was a big achievement. And you also got the opportunities in and out to play in the Ranji Trophy matches and later on shifted to Rajasthan also. I think when you shifted to Rajasthan, cricket must have been in the mind as far as future is concerned.
No, I had played 2 years for Bombay. The Bombay team was, as I mentioned earlier, was very strong, and they had a battery of fast bowlers. There was Salil Ankola, there was Raju Kulkarni, there was Abhi Kurula, and Paras Mamre, all of which played for India.
Right.
So there was it's actually a merry-go-round between all five of us. So my position in the Bombay team, although I did fairly well for Bombay, was never confirmed, and that is the reason I decided to shift to Rajasthan. Because I thought I'd play some games. And when I moved to Rajasthan, is when I realized that the only place to play cricket and play good cricket is Mumbai. And I didn't have a very good season for Rajasthan. I had some injury problems, and that's when I decided that I'm not going to make it to next level. In those days, you must remember there was no IPL and there was no, and cricket was not looked upon as a career by many people. Now it is different. And that's when I decided that I'm not going to make it to the next level. I had the writing on the wall. I was not good enough. Uh, I was not good enough. I also stopped enjoying myself. And I was always a good student. I was always a good student and academically inclined. So I fell back to studies. I appeared for my common written test and I got into one of the premier management business schools in Bombay, NMIMS. And
True.
that's how my corporate journey started.
Yeah, Vignesh, when you were taking your giant steps towards the corporate life, ever a thought came into mind, I would have been a better cricketer? Or, I mean, of course, you are a known industrialist now, but during the time you were taking the steps, did it ever came in mind, I was related to those guys representing Mumbai, would have been better to carry on with the cricket?
No, I think Anup, I was pretty honest with myself, and that helped in making the decision. I was not good enough. I was not as good as the names I've taken. I was not good enough. I was not good enough to play for the country. It was Bombay was the maximum I could have played for. Unfortunately, as I said, we couldn't make a career out of playing for Bombay, and there was no IPL and there was no other lucrative assignments.
Yeah.
So I fell back to studies. I never looked back. I never looked back. I was very happy and satisfied that I played for Bombay. I think I was fortunate to have played for a team like Bombay, which is a great honor. But no regrets on how much more I should have played. I definitely was not good enough to play for India. That's what I firmly believe today.
But cricket never left Vignesh, and Vignesh never left cricket. It all came back again, in a different form altogether. Vignesh, IDBI Federal Life Insurance joined head with the MCA for MCA Pace Academy. What was the intent, and did it really fill the purpose when it had that objective?
Yeah, I became CEO of my company about 7 years back, 7 or 8 years back. And when I became, I found out that IDBI Federal Life Insurance was the best kept secret in the country. Nobody knew about us as an insurance company. People knew us IDBI as a bank, Federal as a bank. And that's when I decided we have to do something to create visibility of the brand. And we decided that for too long, insurance had been sold on the platform of insecurity, uncertainty, failure, death, risk. We decided to give insurance a positive spin. We said insurance is going to be all about health, fitness, sport, well being. Insurance is more about wellness than illness, is what we decided. And that is the marketing philosophy we undertook. So once we decided that, we had a choice of many sports, and cricket being the most popular sport in India was actually the path of least. It was a no-brainer. We started off our journey on sports, grassroots sports with cricket, and I had been a part of two bowling academies when I used to play cricket. One was the MRF Foundation with Dennis Lilly in 1986, and then about 4 or 5 years later, for 2 years, at the Mafatlal Tyson in Bombay. And these two camps I saw as a part of the change in the landscape, the bowling landscape of India and Mumbai. The Tyson Mafatlal scheme, for instance, Uh, Gave you bowlers like Nilesh Kulkarni, Abhi Kurla, Salil Ankola, Paras Mamre, Sairaj Bhotule, who I think amongst them have taken about 2,000 first-class wickets and won Bombay so many titles.
Yeah,
So I
big
knew I was
name.
a part of
Yeah.
these camps. I knew the power of these camps, and I decided let's start a bowling camp. And it did a lot for the brand. It did a, people yet talk about MRF and Mafatlal when they talk about the bowling scheme. So I thought that there could be a similar rebuff to IDBI Federal. And we then invited Jeff Thompson, the legendary Australian fast bowler, and in conjunction with MCA, we ran the camp for about 2 or 3 years in Mumbai, 2 or 3 years in Karnataka with KSCA, and 2 or 3 years in Kerala. And I'm very happy to say that the results were extremely positive. There were players who played for the country, like Shahadul Thakur, who were part of the camp. There were players who represented their states. There were players who got jobs because they started bowling better. They were more successful, and that was very heartening and very pleasing for IDBI Federal that we created so many lives at the grassroots level. So that is the genesis of the bowling foundation.
Right, Vignesh. And Tushar Pandey, I can recall, went on to represent Mumbai also in the Ranji Trophy.
Tushar Deshpande is another
Yeah,
person. We sent him to Australia for a coaching stint with Jeff
right.
Thompson, and he's doing very well for Mumbai also. So yeah, so there's a lot of success stories, fast bowlers, even spinners, uh,
Yeah, Vignesh.
across Karnataka, Mumbai, and so it's very heartening for us as a brand to have contributed to Indian cricket in such a significant way.
True, Vignesh. Vignesh, we talk about association of IDIB Federal Life Insurance with sporting activities. So, what vision as a brand IDBI carries by promoting grassroots cricket? Nowadays, you are aware different business models of sports are available. IPL is one of the biggest. So, I mean, in what way you relate IDBI brands by promoting grassroots cricket or grassroots
Uh,
events? I should say.
I think it's more grassroots sports events. It's not. We started off with cricket, but we also done something in football. We sponsor 4 marathons in Mumbai, Kochi, Kolkata, and New Delhi. So it's not only restricted to cricket. We decided that we will be into sports and we will be into grassroots sports because that is the area which is neglected by corporates. Every corporate runs towards the champions, towards the big names, the IPLs, but very little is done at the grassroots level. And I was a direct beneficiary of grassroots level involvement of the corporates. So I knew the magic it could work. We also tied up with Gopi Chand and we are doing something for his academy. Uh, to honor the next Olympic champion, these are 12, 13-year-old kids who will probably win us a medal in the 28 or 32 Olympics. So we are doing a lot of work across a lot of sports at the grassroots level. And to answer your first question, Anup, it is because we decided to give insurance a positive spin. There's no better insurance in life than your own health and your fitness. So there is a direct synergy between health, fitness, hygiene, and life insurance, and that is what we want to promote as a brand.
True, Vignesh. And we have seen and read about other big names, Leander Pace and Gopi Chand, as you told. Sachin Tendulkar, the great Sachin Tendulkar, has been associated as a brand ambassador for the
As a
marathons.
brand ambassador,
So,
yes, correct,
I mean,
right.
you look into any territory, IDBI Life Insurance is coming up with promoting all those sporting activities. But if I look at the other way, what relevance grassroots cricket carries to IDBI for their brand value?
Okay, it's not again. I'm saying, Anup, it's not only grassroots cricket; it's grassroots sports. Uh,
Grassroots sports, I should say. Yeah.
so the relevance it carries forward to the brand is that we want to say that IDBI Federal is all about the positive things about life, health, fitness, sport, hygiene, well-being, wellness rather than illness. So that has been a marketing mantra and that has been a marketing philosophy, and that is what we want to take forward. Because for too long we feel insurance has been sold on a negative platform of uncertainty, risk. What if my father dies? What if my husband dies? Failure, death. These are morbid reasons. I mean, we all know these are reasons why you should buy insurance, but I think we should give insurance a positive twist. And we're vindicated by the fact that a lot of people have now jumped onto the bandwagon. a lot of companies, insurance, otherwise, are sponsoring runs, sports. So there are a lot of companies who are joining onto the bandwagon. So that is vindication that maybe we did something right, although it was contrary and unconventional 7 years back, and,
Right.
and nobody had done it before. But today, a lot of people seem to be doing it. So we must have done something right. And it
True,
has
true.
worked,
Of course.
and it has worked, and it has worked beautifully for the company. I can live that much. It's created a lot of enthusiasm amongst employees. They feel proud to be a part of an organization which is talking so positively amongst all the stakeholders. The very fact that you're interviewing me today, Anup, is because of this. So it's worked beautifully for the company. You wouldn't have
Yeah,
even
Vignesh.
interviewed me or invited me to CricketGraph if IDBI Federal was not involved in sports as it is.
Truly, truly, Vignesh. And Vignesh, well, there is a strong analogy, which stands between any sports and the corporate life. And Vignesh, you had that taste of both to a great extent. So, which is the biggest lesson which you have learned on the field in any sporting arena, and which you have implemented, as a top notch in the organization, and from employee perspective also, which is the biggest lesson which has been implemented?
I think Anup, I can safely say that, I've said this very often, that I've learned more on the sports field than I've learned in any classroom or boardroom. Sports has taught me team spirit. That's very important in corporate life. It's taught me humility. It's taught me transparency. It's taught me accessibility. It's taught me to take quick decisions and not procrastinate too long. And most importantly, it's taught me never take failure to your heart and never take success to your head. So I can go on. This is endless. The things that I've learned through sports are standing me in good stead in corporate life, and I owe everything to my time. Although I played cricket seriously for 7 to 8 years, and I've been in corporate life for 25 years, and I've also done my MBA through a prestigious school. I think very clearly, without a shred of doubt, I've learned more on the cricket maidans and the fields, and I'm just bringing those learnings onto the corporate life.
Right, it does, and it does make things easy when you correlate the situation to the field, and mind triggers in a different way to take decision.
Good question, very good question. I mean, the beauty about sport is it simulates all the challenges you can get in corporate life, and probably much more. The only difference between corporate life and the sports field is corporate life, you have a quarter, a year, a half year to take care of resolve your issues. On the sporting field, you have to take quick decisions, trust your instinct. You have to resolve problems in half an hour, 1 hour, at maximum by the end of the day. So sports doesn't give you the luxury of time that corporate life does, while it gives you all the challenges that corporate life can ever hope to give you. So it's
True.
definitely a great training ground. It's definitely a great training ground, and I suggest everybody should play some sport at any level, a team sport if necessary, because it inculcates in you certain values which no company or no school can do.
True, true. The sports teaches us those things, which cannot be learned in the boardrooms. And the
Uh,
spontaneity of the decision, which you talked about, Vignesh, it does require that blink of a second to react on the field, but it gives you courage, I believe, when you are sitting in a corporate life to take decision and to think in a broader way.
no, absolutely, absolutely. And the problem is that we don't trust our instinct. People get too bogged down with analysis and Excel sheets and numbering PowerPoint slides that they don't take. It's called analysis paralysis. Sports helps you develop an instinct. Everybody has an instinct. Instinct is what is instinct? Instinct is the intersection of common sense and experience. That's
True.
all. So if only people applied common sense and use whatever experience they have, they can take quicker decisions. And I think the
True.
bane of corporate life today is bureaucracy and indecisiveness, and that should be killed. There will be some decisions that go right, there will be some that go wrong, but there's always a learning. So the sense of speed. While I'm not,
True, true, Vignesh. So,
while I'm not discrediting or disparaging analysis and research in data. It's important depending on what kind of problem you're facing. But more or less, in the real world, when you're dealing with real people with hopes, insecurities, motivations, insecurities, you have to take quicker decisions because that is the biggest motivator, if I may say so, for a lot of people.
True. And as they say, there is no bigger teacher than the field when you start, where you stand and learn so many things to implement in whatever form of life you carry in the future. Well, Vignesh, thanks a lot for your time. It was a pleasure hearing you, learning some of the few lessons of corporate and your memories about the cricketing stuff. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.